What's up, guys? Miguel here from Torrance Tech. Today we're looking at the vSeeBox A1 Alpha 1. This is a brand new drop from VC. They sent this over for me to review. And the very first thing, which you probably know by the thumbnail and the title of this video, it comes with a Linux, right here, operating system. I have so many questions on this. So many questions. So when I initially saw the box, I was like, holy crap, it's running Linux. What does that mean? Is that better? Is it faster than the vSeeBox 6 Plus? Where does it sit in vSeeBox world? I had so many questions surrounding the whole Linux operating system instead of the Android system. Does it support apps? Does it not support apps? Is it faster? Because everything that runs on Linux is essentially a lot more responsive, especially gaming stuff. So today we're going to take a look at that. We're going to unbox it. We're going to do our unboxing. You know how we do. And then we're going to see where it fits in the VC world. Is it better than the V6 Plus, their flagship, or is it just another iteration? So we're going to flip to the top-down view. We're going to see how long it takes us to go from unboxing the box to watching live content. We're going to put a timer up, so this way we know how long it takes. It's going to be uncut. And then after that, we're going to go into thoughts and reviews about what this actually is. Stay tuned. Let's get into it. All right, and here we have the setup. So we got the vSeeBox Alpha 1 with the Linux operating system. Let me explain the setup a little bit. So what we do here, let me focus a little bit. What I do here is unbox it, connect it to the monitor, put the timer on, see how long it takes us from going unboxing to live content, no cuts, out of the box. Behind the monitor, we have a power supply because this monitor needs a power supply. We have a special cable for this monitor, HDMI to smaller HDMI, and then we have the batteries because all these devices have remotes and need batteries in it. So let's just get to it. Let's start the timer. Let's see what this is all about. So we got the matte black finish. That is very different. Okay, we got the power cord, we got the remote, and we got an HDMI cable in here. That looks very bundled. Put that in. As always, I hate the uncuts because usually during uncuts, I say shit and I can't edit it out. All right, so let's plug it in. Okay, let's do the remote. And this is AA, 2 AA batteries. Okay, let's set up the wire. All right, and let's plug in the power. Let's see what we got here. All right, let's take a look at the box really quick. So we have a green light. I like the nice black finish, the matte black. No channel. Maybe focus that a little bit. All right. So what does it say? Okay, next steps. All right. Time zone. New York. That was quick. So is this... Oh. So I was trying to figure out which button was this. I guess it's the red one and the black one over here. Wow, this is completely... All right. New software. Do we want to do new software? Let's hit no for now. So this way we could just connect. All right. So exit maybe. Next steps. All right. So right off the bat, we have the Heat apps. Let's go back for a second. Let's connect. Now, for those of you who don't know, those Heat apps are the brand Heat apps for vSeeBox. And stop. We're watching live content. Okay, let's exit out of this. So that's a new record, by the way. The V6 Plus, I did it in 5 minutes. We shaved out about 45 seconds off this setup. So now that we did the whole test, let's go back to actually do kind of an unboxing and actually go through what is on the box, what's on the outside of the box, what we get. So let's just, again, start with the box. We have vSeeBox Alpha 1 A1 4K Ultra Dual Band over-the-air updates and the Linux operating system. This is a complete question mark to me at this point. I'm still trying to understand how I feel about this. We got the smart media player. Let's take a look around the box here. What comes in the box? We got HD cable. I guess that's an HDMI cable. Remote control, power pack, setup box, and user. All right, let's take a look at around the back. We have operating system Linux 4.9 over-the-air upgrade. Video decoding H.264, 265, 10-bit HDR decoding at 4K 60 frames per second, HDMI 2.1 max, RJ45 interface 10100. So that's not even a gigabit adapter, that's a 10100 adapter. Wi-Fi connection, upgraded Wi-Fi module up to 867 megabits per second Wi-Fi speed. Peripheral interface, 2 USB 2.0s, okay, and other interface, IR receiver SPDF. So this is not even doing Bluetooth. Interesting. Remote, IR remote up to 10 meters controlled distance, power input 5 volts 2 amps, which is standard. Okay, all right. So let's take a look at the box really quick and see what all that means. So we got the display panel. Let me power it in. Okay, we got an LED display here at the front. We got the little green light here on the side. Vent, serial numbers, vent, and around back. We have the 5 volts 2 amps. We got the AV. We got the HDMI. USB 2.0s, and the Ethernet port. Very interesting box. Let's take a look at the remote really quick. All right, so the biggest differences on this remote so far is these heat apps, right? These heat apps are here at the bottom. Usually it comes with Disney, YouTube, Netflix, but we only have 2 apps. I think we only have like 3 or 4 apps on this model, but coming with these 2 apps here. V format resolution, and the fact that we also don't have a mouse button on this remote. Typically with Android you get a mouse button, but other than that it's pretty standard stuff, and that's the size of it. It comes with AAA batteries. You could program these buttons I saw in the menu. What is this here? Oh, this box is a little see-through. I don't know if you could tell. There has a little bit of a see-through going on here. So that was the box. Let's get into the final thoughts. Let's switch over to the talking head and I'm going to go over a lot of stuff and my feelings on this. We're going to test it out for a little while, and then I'm going to come back and give you my final thoughts on where this box sits and what do I think it. All right, so here's the final thoughts on the VC Alpha 1 box. So this may be one of the fastest VC boxes that I've tested, and somehow it may also be one that gives me the most reason to hesitate. So let's start with the good, because there's a lot that this box is pretty good at. During my normal unboxing test, I went from opening the package to watching television in approximately like 4 minutes and 11, if I think. That's really around 45 seconds faster than what I achieved with the V6 Plus. Now, is that a scientific benchmark? No, it's my benchmark. But it is a consistent real-world test that I perform with these boxes, and Alpha 1 was genuinely quick. But it is a consistent real-world benchmark that I constantly do with these boxes, and the Alpha 1 is quick as hell. Now, the entire interface feels fast and responsive. For the first time with one of these boxes, I don't feel like the hardware itself is the bottleneck. So like when something takes a moment to load, it feels more like I'm waiting for the application or the stream or even my internet connection, not really waiting for the box, if that makes any sense. And the content with the Heat applications is exactly where it's supposed to be. Heat Live was showing 1,909 channels. Heat VOD was showing 47,992 movies and 16,208 television series. So the two main applications were completely on par with every single VC box model that I've seen before. Now, the A1 also keeps everything very simple. There are only 6 applications installed: YouTube Media, Weather, Speed Test, Heat Live, and Heat VOD. And that's it. You turn it on, you select Live or VOD, and just start watching. For someone who wants a box that performs one specific job without a bunch of menus or even background applications or unnecessary nonsense, that simplicity is genuinely appealing. But of course, that simplicity is also the A1's biggest limitation. Now, as of today, I have not found an app store, or I have not found obviously installers, and I've not found like a user accessible method for installing third-party applications. I even went as far to try to get AI to create an application specifically for this device, something relatively simple, like just bring me back the information on this device, and AI was not capable of doing that either. Now, the box recognizes USB storage, and you can browse supported media files, but recognizing a USB drive doesn't automatically mean that the system will let you install or execute additional software. Now, the system information screen reports Linux 4.9. And I believe that is the Linux kernel version, not the name of the complete operating system or Linux distribution. So I can't tell you right now whether this is based on a familiar distribution or whether it uses a completely custom embedded environment, or whether additional applications can be installed through some method that simply isn't exposed on the interface. So I'm not saying side loading isn't possible. I'm saying that right now I have not found a normal consumer accessible way of doing it. And again, keep in mind, $319. So obviously it's not behaving like an Android device where you can open up your app store and install Disney Plus, Hulu, Plex, Kodi, whatever else you normally use. Now, you still have YouTube and USB playback, and vSeeBox says that they claim that you can do screen mirroring through Miracast and DLNA, and I believe I read AirPlay also. Now, there's also a few very small interface annoyances. So the remote has a dedicated Heat Live and Heat VOD buttons, but they don't properly switch between the two applications while you're already inside of one. So if you're inside of one, you actually have to go back to the dashboard and then press the button for the other one, and it goes back into that one. Also, on the home screen, I haven't found a way to actually rearrange the applications on the home screen. Now, this is low-hanging fruit, and it doesn't really destroy anything. It's just kind of these weird things. So then we get into the hardware decisions. The A1 has USB 2.0 and 10100 Ethernet port. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, Ethernet port is limited to 100 megabits per second, which equals out to theoretically 12.5 megabytes per second, but in actuality, you're probably only getting 10 megabytes per second, if you even get that. Now, meanwhile, the packaging advertises wireless speeds approximately 867 megabits per second. So anything near that figure would have to come from the Wi-Fi, because the Ethernet port physically can't deliver that. Now, do you need gigabit Ethernet to stream television and movies? Probably not at all. But a box being sold in 2026, having 10100 Ethernet feels like a strange place to save a few bucks at this point. And that brings me to where I believe this box sits within the vSeeBox lineup. Now, it's my opinion that this does not replace the vSeeBox Plus. The vSeeBox Plus is more of a traditional, flexible Android-based streaming box. And this Alpha 1 is more like a dedicated appliance, which makes it interesting when you look at it that way. Obviously, the V6 Plus gives you a lot more freedom, but the Alpha 1 gives you fewer options, but gets you into Heat Live and VOD extremely quickly. Now, which one is better depends on exactly what you expect from the device. If you care about Heat Live and Heat VOD, and you want the quickest, simplest experience possible, then the A1 is seriously impressive. It is fast as hell, and the two main applications are fully loaded, and there's almost nothing in here to slow it down. But if you expect to install a collection of your own applications, customize the home screen, or use this as a general purpose streaming device, probably would not purchase it under that assumption that could do more of those things. Not until we establish exactly what this Linux system allows. Now, at the current price, it's $319. Again, if you put in my shill code, it takes $30 off, and it brings it down to $289 before taxes. Link in the description. Full disclosure, vSeeBox did send me this review, and the link in the description is an affiliate link. If you purchase through it, I might get a commission. Does that affect the review? Maybe a little bit. I am a little partial to these boxes, but I try my best to not. At least I understand I have a problem. So what's my final verdict? The Alpha 1 proves that you don't necessarily need the most impressive hardware specifications to create a fast streaming box. What does that say? I can't read what AI wrote for me. A lightweight operating system and a simple interface and software optimized around two primary applications can make a massive difference. But speed is only half the equation. It's like it makes it too simple and fast, which also makes it too limited. Now, I am not finished with this box at all. Me and AI have a lot to go through to figure out how to get into this thing. And I still want to identify the underlying Linux environment, determine whether any additional applications can be installed, check what network services are exposed, and figure out exactly how locked down this operating system really is. AI has a lot of work to do. So this is really the introduction to the Alpha 1, not the end of the investigation. Subscribe if you want to see that follow-up. And as always, AI thanks you for watching. Take care, guys.